Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, since I feel like this month was kind of a long month and I'm ready to do like the March recap and everything, but it's not time for that yet because I still have some books to finish, so I was like really stretching to find a video to do today, and I almost did the books on my to be read list, but I decided I was going to do a video with all the books that I'm currently reading. So I think I did one of these back in January. And so I'm going to show you all the books that I'm reading, and I feel like right now I'm actually not reading that much. I've been listening to a lot of sermons lately, so that means less audiobooks, but I do have a few different genres that I'm reading right now that I'd like to show y'all. So first, the fiction book that I'm reading is Moon Over Manifest by Clare Vanderpool, and I'm really excited to do a review for this one because I am actually enjoying reading it. It took me a while to get into, but I started reading it over spring break, so it kind of like gave me a bunch of time and I just got into it, and I'm enjoying it so far. If you her other book that she wrote was Navigating Early, which kind of like made its rounds, I feel like, last year. Everyone, or a lot of people really liked it. I didn't love it that much, but I am enjoying Moon Over Manifest better than Navigating Early. So I think this is going to be a fun young adult book to read, and I will let you know my final thoughts once I finish it. And then the next fiction book I'm reading is another young adult book, and it is a historical fiction. It is Number the Stars. So I actually read this whenever I was in high school, or no, before I even got to high school, I read this. It's World War II historical fiction, and it's about these girls in Copenhagen in Denmark in 1943, and one of them is Jewish, and so it's kind of the like escaping and all that. I remember it being a really good book, and I think it's really emotional too. So we're actually doing this as a family read aloud right now, and I'm enjoying it so far. We're only like maybe 3 chapters in, but it's an easy read, and it's great for teaching about World War II. And then the next fiction book that I'm reading is an audiobook. It's called Whose Waves These Are by Amanda Dykes. This is the first of her books that I've read, listened to, and my sister actually listened to it first, and she is not a super emotional person, and she said that it pretty much like made her tear up. So I'm really looking forward to reading it and getting into it. I just started listening to it today, so I can't even really give you like a story synopsis because it's historical fiction, and it's one of those that like flips back and forth between like modern and then like a family member that's back in World War II and was drafted into the war. So I'm really excited to get into that book and see how it is. But right now, I'd say it's pretty good, and I know it has some faith elements to it, and it seems pretty well written. I don't necessarily like the narrator at this point, but I'll definitely leave you a detailed review of that one. And then the last book that I'm reading right now is Josiah's Reformation. This is a Puritan paperback written by one of the Puritans, Richard Sibbes. And I picked this up because the Puritan paperbacks are our book of the month at church, and so I thought I would actually pick one of these up because the Puritans are so good. It's just I don't often think of getting one of them. I've only read one other book, which was also by Richard Sibbes, The Bruised Reed. So I started reading Josiah's Reformation, and it goes over 2 Chronicles 34, the part where God is talking to the king Josiah, and it says that his heart was tender. So it's basically like ready to hear what God was going to say. So I think it's like 3 sermons that Richard Sibbes did. So the first part is on like what is a tender heart, and what that means, what the benefits of it are, kind of how the what causes a tender heart. And then the second part is like how to cultivate a tender heart, which is self-humbling. And then the third part is the art of mourning. And then the fourth part is the saints refreshing. So it's going through different verses in 2 Chronicles 34. And so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm still in the first part. But just the way it's written, I guess because it was preached as a sermon, it has a very detailed outline, and it has like subpoints and everything, and you want to keep reading because you want to figure out, okay, so like this leads to this, leads to this, and it's like this train that you can't get off of. So I didn't really expect to read a Puritan book and be so like captivated by it and not able to put it down, but I'm really enjoying it. So I would totally recommend that you go find a Puritan paperback and pick one up and read it. There's so many good ones. I picked up this one because it looked really interesting about cultivating and maintaining a tender heart. So I'm enjoying reading this. We'll see if I finish it by the end of the month. Hopefully I will. And then I know that I said that that was the last book that I was reading, but also I'm still reading Deep Nutrition. I actually did pick it up again this month, and I'm always enjoying that book and learning so much. I feel like my brain is just blown, like, every time I read it. So if you're interested in, like, health stuff, I would recommend you go pick up Deep Nutrition, because it's a really great book. So those are all the books that I am currently reading right now. We've got much smaller books than in previous months, and I'm actually really enjoying all of these. I feel like I hit a point a couple weeks ago where I was reading all the stuff that I really didn't like, so I'm happy right now that I'm reading books that are actually enjoyable and I want to be reading them. And most of these will be in my March end of the month review. I feel like I read so many books this month, and I don't know if my reading challenge like reflects that, but to me it feels like I finished a lot. So I'm really excited to do the recap. It'll probably be a really long video, so yay for me editing. But I'm reading right now, even though I'm like super busy and it's hard to sit down and read, but you know, you have to make it a priority. So what books are you reading right now? Whether it's audiobooks or fiction books or whatever, drop it in the comments down below and let me know, are you actually liking the books that you're reading right now, or is it blah book that you are not excited to read? So I will see you back here next week. Let's see, what is today? So next week will probably be my end of the month recap. I'll do that next week, and then the next week I'll probably do a video on all the books that I got for my birthday. You might see some hints in this video, but I'm really excited for that one to show all of you what I got. So I will see you next week. If you want to catch up with me throughout the week, you can see my Instagram link below and also my Goodreads. Bye!